If you like the channel, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/MundaneMat. Joke about it being a witch hunt. Many people out there tried to deny that, but we do live in this weird kind of listen and believe world right now where due process is like a distant afterthought for everything, which is a problem if you are a centrist-minded, justice-loving person. But that being said, this latest allegation is one that is it's disturbing, to say the least. And it's sad because I like the person a lot, so it totally sucks. I'm going to try to keep an open mind about all this, but let's take a look at the allegations surrounding Louis C.K. and the 5 women who are now accusing him of sexual misconduct. 5 women! Nowhere near as bad as Harvey Weinstein, or even Kevin Spacey for that fact. But 5 women have come out and they've talked about him in a way that it's a little bit too similar. Also given his comedy stylings to make you kind of go, I don't know if this happened or not. I'm literally looking at these allegations going, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. But I still want there to be police reports. I want there to be due process. But at the same time, I can see it. Yeah. So it says here that 5 women have accused Emmy-winning comedian and actor Louis C.K. of sexual misconduct dating back to at least 15 years, the New York Times has reported. 2 female comedians claim that Louis C.K., the creator and star of the FX series Louis, masturbated in front of them in 2002. 3 other women told the Times about other instances of alleged sexual misconduct. What is up with dudes in Hollywood and jerking off in front of women? Like, you have the money. There are those happy time, fun time massage parlors in Los Angeles. Go there. Not a ficus in a nightclub. Or your stomach in a hotel room in front of 2 comedians. Don't do that. You have the money, pay for it. But again, you know what they say. Sexual assault, rape, all that stuff's never about the sex. It's about the power, the control, obviously, right? But I just wanted to make this abundantly clear, and I'm glad NBC finally acts ethically involving this story, but not with gamers. Saying here, NBC News has not verified the allegations, and that is something that should be maintained. That should be looked at, absolutely looked at, is they have not verified the allegations. And the thing is, the truth is, you can't. You won't ever be able to truly verify. There's no paper trail for any of it. There's word of mouth and hearsay and rumor and speculation, but paper trail, nah. And that's the problem. You gotta have a paper trail, because that's how you document this stuff. Why do you think the whole situation with the letters James Comey wrote were such a big deal? Because that is a paper trail. It says here, after being contacted by the Times for an interview this week, Louis C.K.'s publicist, Louis C.K., not kidding, that is that dude's real name, said his client would not respond. Louis is not going to answer any questions, K wrote to the Times in an email. NBC has reached out to Louis C.K. for comment and will update the article if he responds. Listen, NBC, I know you think you're tough. I know you think you're hot, right? Think you're cracking a case. But the truth of the matter is, if he hasn't responded to the New York Times, I don't think he's going to respond to you. What we're going to see out of Louis C.K. right now is pretty much social media silence for the foreseeable future, and wait for this whole thing to blow over. In fact, most people that you see that are going to be that are going to be accused or have been accused are going media silent. The only one I've seen that's continuously been defending himself is Jeremy Piven. And that actually makes more sense considering the fact that he's got a show that's in its first season on CBS, and he does not want to lose that power, lose that new show. And so that I completely understand why he's denying it. And again, as I've pointed out before, I do believe that if you are accused of these things and you didn't do it, you have a civic responsibility to defend yourself. And if you come out and you admit it, you're not defending yourself. You admit to wrongdoings, and then of course throw yourself at the mercy of the public, the court of public opinion. But these people, led by social justice warriors, I hate to break it to you guys, you will never, ever, 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 ever be free. They will lord it over your head until the day you die, and then 70 years beyond it, just like copyright. That is how they roll. Trust me, once I die, people are going to be digging up old videos of mine going, he one time said this, and never once assigning context to it or whatever, but that's what's going to happen, because people who are your ideological opponents will always find ways to smear you in the best possible way that they can. That being said, let's continue. The Times report was published a few hours after the New York premiere for the new film directed by Louis C.K. was canceled. The distributor of the film, titled I Love You, Daddy, said in a statement that the screening at the Paris theater had been called off because of unexpected circumstances. And that would be the threat of this article dropping on the same day as the New York premiere. Coincidence? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was timed. It was timed to cause the most damage. It was timed to hurt Louis C.K. the most. Like I said, maximum effort, to quote Deadpool here, is what they were going for. Now, the company that was going to release the film, The Orchard, says here, there is never a place for the behavior detailed in these allegations. As a result, we are giving careful consideration to the timing and release of the film and continuing to review the situation. Now, it should be noted that The Orchard purchased the film, I Love You, Daddy. This is a weird title to say out loud. For $5 million last month at the Toronto International Film Festival, where it did quite well. The film was set to release on November 16th in New York and LA, and get a wide release on December 1st, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point if that gets pulled and pushed to sometime in next year. Now, the film, a black and white comedy that pays homage to Woody Allen's Manhattan, has stirred up controversy of its own. It stars Louis C.K. as a television producer whose daughter, 17-year-old daughter, I should say, Chloe Grace Moretz, becomes involved with a 68-year-old filmmaker played by John Malkovich, which to an extent kind of feels like Hollywood in a nutshell from time to time. Just saying. The claims published in the Times come amid a wave of sexual misconduct allegations against other high-profile men in Hollywood, including Harvey Weinstein, James Toback, and Rush Hour director Brett Ratner. Interestingly enough, though, the NBC article did not mention Kevin Spacey, that one being the second, I would say, to Harvey Weinstein. The fact that came out yesterday that Kevin Spacey is going to be, removed from his latest movie, a movie that opens in 6 weeks, and they're going to be digitally removing him and reshooting other scenes. I mean, that's a big story, but yet he's omitted here. Odd. The expose published in the Times, comedians Dana Min Goodman and Julia Wolof allege that Louis C.K. in 2002 invited them to his hotel room in Colorado, undressed himself, masturbated in front of them. Yeah, the story is crazy, but they go to his hotel room, he asks if he could pull out his penis, they kind of laugh, he then takes off all of his clothes and begins to masturbate. That's the story. And at no point they got up and left. At no point they screamed, called the police. At no point, right? That's the weirdest thing. My brain is going, if someone had pulled out their penis and started doing that in front of me, I would leave. Career or not, I would leave. I don't get it. Because it's not like it was an instantaneous process. If he took off all of his clothes and got naked and then did that, there's a process. Shirt, shoes, socks, underwear, pants, right? They said it's still in their coats. They made sure to point that out. They were still in their winter coats because it was in Colorado. It was in Aspen. And he was, take it all off. I find that, again, there's something about that to me that is very suspicious. It just seems weird. The way that it's worded seems, I know what the image is trying to evoke here, but it just seems odd to me. Anyway. Then also you have Abby Schachner, a comedian who says she called Louis C.K. to invite him to a comedy show in 2003. She claimed she could hear him masturbating during their phone conversation. He's kind of a portly dude. He could have just been walking up a flight of stairs. You really have no way. Sorry. Anyway, and then you have this one here. Rebecca Corey, writer and actress, alleges that Louis C.K. asked whether he could masturbate in front of her while they appeared together on a television pilot in 2005. Now, I do think that there's a little bit of context missing from that particular line right there. Or maybe I just feel like there maybe should be a thing. It should be while they appeared together on a pilot. It should be while they were filming a pilot, I think would be the appropriate term. It wasn't like they were, getting ready to do a scene and they're both in front of the camera and he pulls it out. It was behind the scenes. He asked her to go to another room and then do that. So there's something to consider just in terms of the reporting of this. Now, Goodman and Wolof told the Times that they feel compelled to speak out given the climate of the film industry because of this movement, or because of this moment. Wolof said in the newspaper, as gross as it is, we feel compelled to speak, which is true. This movement is doing a lot right now to do a lot of that stuff. But let's take a look here at probably what I feel is the most interesting part of their story. And that's here when it says, during Miss Goodman's and Miss Wallow's surreal visit to Louis C.K.'s Aspen hotel room, they said they were holding on to each other, screaming and laughing in shock as Louis C.K. masturbated in a chair. We were paralyzed, Miss Goodman said. After he ejaculated on his stomach, they said they fled. He called after them. He was like, which one of you is Dana and which one is Julia? Am I the only one that's just looking at that going, huh? Like, I understand, like, the paralyzed laughing in shock thing. I do, to an extent, get that. I'm not discrediting it or saying it never happened. Something about it feels off to me. It just feels off. Like, the human response of fight or flight would be like if someone all of a sudden starts doing that and is super uncomfortable, you know, like, there's going to be a thing there. I mean, Louis C.K. wasn't, like, as powerful as he is now in 2002, 15 years ago. He wasn't. Now, the thing is to consider is that with this particular story, there's also the allegation that his manager, Dave Becky, who also reps Kevin Hart, Amy Poehler, NSZ's Ansari, as well as runs 3 Arts Entertainment, which you've seen their logo on practically everything involving comedy in Hollywood. This dude is more powerful, way more powerful than Louis C.K., that he might have had something to do with this. But you know what, though? These allegations, while they are 15 years old, apparently aren't new, because according to Defamer here, and I hate to go to a freaking Gawker-owned website, but that's the whole thing, is they talked about this 2015. Now, this original article, I do believe, was posted in 2012. So 5 years ago, they brought it up, and 5 years ago, no one really, you know, cared much about it. But here we are in a different time, and we're seeing a lot of that. And so that's something that's going on there, too, is that Gawker was kind of caught wind of this, and they were talking about it. So I don't know what's going to happen with Louis C.K. He's apparently gone social media silent. He'll stay there for quite some time. If he admits anything, his career is over. If he doesn't say anything, his career will have the opportunity to come back at some point in time. But just as a final note here, let's kind of take everything that's been said and put it to context with this one particular image. This is from an actual Fox News interview that Louis C.K. gave when he was talking with Ellen Farber, who runs the organization Christians Against Masturbation. And Louis C.K. was there as a comedian / masturbator. And considering the fact that these 5 women who have come forward to allege that these things have happened have all said so, that it dealt with masturbation, it just makes this particular clip funnier and also more horrifying at the same time. Like, you almost have to laugh because it's that bad. Like, that's where we are right now with Louis C.K. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if the film's going to come out. But Hollywood is up in, you know, they're up in arms right now. Everything's happening in Hollywood. Oh my God. And I don't know when it's going to get better, if it's ever going to get better. As I pointed out before, someone had said that 2017 will be the year of reckoning for horrible men in Hollywood. Now, whether or not that's accurate, I don't know. Whether or not people are being accused of things that they've really done, I have no idea. I feel we're going to be getting a lot of payback in Hollywood over the course of the next probably year. The fever pitch that this thing has hit as fast as it did, this whole scandal from, you know, the trickle down effect, if you will, from Harvey Weinstein to the rest of the industry, is not going away anytime soon. These people have been in our homes, been in our lives for many, many, many years, many decades in some cases. And these are household names that are now being drugged through the mud, whether they are legitimately or illegitimately being drugged through the mud. Many are being drugged through the mud. And that's going to keep people talking. And that's going to keep people wanting to see when the next bombshell will drop. Because, well, there's no question about it at this point. It's no longer a matter of if, it's just simply a matter of when. Hey guys, that wraps up this video. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so below. I love to read your guys' input. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me in the YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel, there's the Amazon affiliate store, there's PayPal, there's Patreon, there's Bitcoin. And if you're bored and you want something else to watch, check out 3 Buck Theater up here. My name is Matt Jarbo. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a wonderful day. Peace out.